is up? It's Dave. It's Duncan. Back from Metal
I
Epidemic.
feel like this review should have cowbells or something in it. Should like ding. No, that's how we should review. Like, we should actually ding out the amount of fucking cowbell hits instead of stars. There we are. I'm getting ahead of myself here.
Okay.
There's a whole lot of cowbell on this album.
Doug and I have been checking out the new album from Eindhoven's Stöner swamp boogie rock duo TankZilla. The band's self-titled album was released on May 19th via Heavy Psych Sounds. Satan fucked a panzer and the offshoot is TankZilla.
Satan's just going around raping tanks, apparently.
Yeah.
Randy bitch.
Well, this is what really happened in Eindhoven Grit after Peter Pan's speed rock went tits up. Singer and guitar player Peter Van Elderen hooked up with former Wolfskop drummer Marcin Herkmans. As soon as these music junkies started jamming, they got on like a house on fire. It felt as if their motor skills were connected. In the same vein as Repo Men, Peter's short-lived but heavier-than-thou Roadburn alumni, Tarmac grooves are scorching. TankZilla goes full tilt boogie. About their debut album, TankZilla comment, as we write this, it's hard to realise the long road we've travelled to get to this debut full length. We started rehearsals 5 years ago with absolutely no ambitions. We were without bands at the time, both cranking amps and slaying drums at the local rehearsal space, so it felt only natural to jam together. Nobody could have guessed what was about to happen, because after we decided to join forces, all hell broke loose. While shows were growing at a fast rate, we started fine-tuning the TankZilla sound. Not long after, we were invited to perform at the almighty Roadburn Festival, where we released our first 7-inch. Fast forward through the pandemic, we finished writing a dozen songs, and here you have it. Recorded in Belgium, no Dutch beers involved, no fillers, no fancy stuff, just the result of true and pure rock and roll style recording sessions. Put it on and crank the shit up, because this one goes to 11. TankZilla was recorded live at the Ultra Electric Studio by Alessio De Ture, assisted by Cedric Mays. It was mixed at Anchor Studio by Peter Van Elderen and mastered in The Void by Pieter Kloos. So, Duncan.
I know what you're thinking, Dave. Behind the paywall, me and Dave will release our 7-inch.
If you're lucky. One day. Out of all the albums we're reviewing this week, Duncan.
How many times have you listened to it, be honest?
An uncountable amount of times, Duncan. This was the album.
Yeah, I know.
This was the one, even and I was dead excited to review Cattle Decap and all that, but this was the one I was most excited about out of the albums we were reviewing.
Yeah.
And like some of those albums we were reviewing were by bigger name bands, but this just had me so psyched. Like, so much so that I had rinsed the single so many times before hearing the album. And that's something that I don't really tend to do. I generally listen to maybe a single, two maybe at the most, and then I usually just wait to hear the rest of the album.
But how often have we had the sentence where we're like that? They've released a single, and I'm just curious to hear what the album says. The album sounds like the single,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
like it's like,
yeah, it does.
There's no fucking curveballs on this bitch, right?
No, every single had me dying to hear the next one. So I was ready to go. When this came in, I was like, right, I'm ready. Just give me some TankZilla. And by God, it did not disappoint. This album.
TankZilla delivered.
This album is fucking fire, Duncan. I'm a drummer, all right, but I haven't done much playing over the last fucking 10 years or something, right?
Have you been?
Until this album, Duncan, because my imaginary drum kit got a fucking pounding this week. I shit you not.
I have just seen tech-wise that they've released like these things where you can, I think they're like basic like straps. Like, you put on your and you can air drum and they actually make the noise. And Dave, it might be time.
I think it is. I think it's time, because I just constantly all week I was just air drumming constantly to this album. Let me try and put into words what level of awesome we are dealing with here.
Please do. Go for
with TankZilla. This isn't an album that has a few standout riffs. You know, an album where you're like, oh, I really love the riff on track 3, and I really love the groove on track 7. No, Duncan.
It's the greatest hits of riffs, isn't it? Really,
This is an album that delivers killer riff after killer riff on every single track.
Every song, every riff. It's the greatest hit of riff. I'm surprised you told me this dude was in another band before, because it sounds like he's been writing this one for years.
Yeah.
Like a decade. I've just been nothing but great riffs for 10 years, and finally I put them all in one album.
It's like an 11-track highlight reel. Like I smiled so hard from start to finish, and every song had multiple moments where I was just completely hooked into this. The riffs are so good, man. Yeah. Like, just no band should be able to write this many awesome riffs for one album. Like, it is overflowing with huge, groovy, fuzzed out riffs from start to finish.
Like, the first time I ever, and it was you that introduced me to this, and hopefully people out there will now Google this, because I'll tell you, there's an album that would go really, really well with this, but it doesn't sound like this. I would highly recommend Man Trapping for Sport by Scissorfight. The first time I ever listened to Scissorfight, there was a quality, it was all the riffs, to be honest. Yeah. Like, vocals are amazing and everything else, but it was huge sounding. But every riff and every track, I was just like, that's fucking, like, how like that? And that's exactly the kind of the feeling that TankZilla gives you when you listen to it. It's like every single riff is like either preceded by or, you know, like, or follows on to like your next favorite riff. It is a collection of like every riff that follows is your next favorite riff.
Yeah.
It's like being at a world buffet, but the world buffet is just food that you love. And every silver tree you go to next is better than the one before.
Yeah. It's dynamite. It's like, yeah, it's hard to put into words how awesome this is. However, that's not the only thing these guys have going for them. Remember, this is a duo, right? This is a duo that sounds like a quintet.
Yeah.
I think the fact that these guys are a two-piece, I think it's only made them even stronger as a unit, because there's no other distractions or extra members that need to find their place in the band. So all those hours rehearsing and playing live as a duo has just made them incredibly tight. Like, I can't emphasize how cohesive and efficient this sounds. But
it sounds well rehearsed.
Yeah, but it never sounds clinical. Like, it has so much just flow and natural groove to it. It's impossible not to be pulled in by it. And a lot of that's to do with the feel of the drummer, Martin Harkman, who just keeps this album moving and grooving. He's such a kind of veteran kind of quality to this guy's playing. You can tell he's been at this a while. He's got a very kind of seasoned style of playing where he knows exactly when to sit in the pocket and when to experiment with different tempos and rhythms, and it's just controlled perfectly. And control is a big part of this album, because you hear so many bands that get carried away on a debut album and just want to throw everything at it, just everything in the album as much as we can. This is a debut.
Why is there a blast beat on this groove track?
Yeah, I know. And they have no thought of flow or dynamics, but TankZilla have carefully threaded this album together in an order that keeps it moving the whole time. It keeps you engaged the whole time, but it doesn't give you too much of one speed or one rhythm that it becomes predictable or repetitive. The rhythm shifts between tracks are really clever, because you can tell straight away you're on a different track.
Yeah.
They all have a different feel. Like the transition from Wrong Place, which is really up tempo, really drives at you with a punch and rhythm. Then into Soul Surfer, which is far more southern in style, with a more of a kind of churning groove. Or even Down Below, which is like a kind of fuzzy stoner, almost like a funny fuzzy stoner audio slave. But it's got really cool killer bass drum patterns in there as well. But even when they start a song in a particular tempo, they flip it. They'll flip the switch halfway through and give you a little burst of pace, just to keep things varied, keep it interesting. So I never felt like I switched off for a second while this was on. I was just completely absorbed by it. If that wasn't enough, you've then got the killer vocals from Peter Van Elderen, which are just like full of character. Like he reminds me a little bit of Brant Bjork on the stuff he did recently with Stöner. Kind of similar to that. He's got a bit of soul and a bit of blues in his voice, but he's got like grit and he's got force as well. And he's got a voice that delivers a very appealing and very kind of memorable hook. Brother from Another Mother is a great example of a track that just hooks you in instantly and will have you singing. You know what I mean? You'll just be been a long time ago, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know, I was just like, I was in it. I was singing every line
Dave,
along
the
this
day
track.
that me and you get divorces from our respective partners, decide to finally tie the knot, our first shagging session is going to be to Brother from Another Mother, right? We're going to sing it to each other, making uncomfortable eye contact. So just letting you know what's going to happen. The countdown's inevitable.
I can't wait. Those little kind of genius lyrical nuggets are all over this release. But he can do really infectious melody as well on tracks like Mutant Freak. And like I love the fact that they blended the end of that track with something like kind of electronically and electronic and a kind of drum loop as well, which kind of tied the track's theme in as well. So the boxes were just like constantly being ticked on this release. And then they go and top it off with a production that is just fucking ripping. I mean, this is recorded live, a live recording, and it sounds incredible. Like it's got the tone of a live recording, but with this fucking sonic punch to it. Like the guitars sound thick and fuzzy, the drums are just fucking snappy, and fuck the bass. We don't need a fucking bass. You know what I mean? Just
I've been saying that since we listened to that Mantar album. I've been like that. What are bass players actually doing?
Get them out of the band.
Coasting.
Coasting. This is my new favorite album. Like it's funny. Like it's not reinventing the wheel or like flipping the genre on its head, but man, front to back, this is a fucking mammoth of an album, and there's cowbell on it. Like, what more do you need?
I think he even does. I'm trying to remember the song now, but there is a song where instead of like a ride cymbal or a bell cymbal, he actually just uses a cowbell. And I was like, what are we doing?
I think it was.
My ears were like, this is amazing.
I think it might be Wolfpack. I'm sure he uses it quite a bit on Wolfpack.
I was like, yes, that's exactly what I want.
Play this album at my funeral. God damn it.
Play this album at his funeral. In fact, play this album, play this loud.
Yeah. So I'm in. Like I'm all in. Duncan, what are you thinking?
So an album like this, like you made an interesting point towards the end where you said it's not really doing anything you haven't heard before, right?
Yeah.
And that's true. And it's not reinventing the wheel, right? So you're right about that. I can't remember, notwithstanding the band that I mentioned, Scissorfight, with that album, and to be honest, the albums that came either side were never really as good as Man Trapping for Sport. Yeah. But I can't remember an album which really does have everything in the right place as much as this. An album which doesn't reinvent the wheel, lives or dies on, or even like breeds ingenuity in any way, shape or form, lives and dies on its proficiency to deliver what it is delivering in. So if I'm writing a bog standard groove metal album, every riff better be the best groove metal riff you've ever fucking heard.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what's the fucking point?
Yeah.
Every drum bit should be the bit, like so on and so forth. And TankZilla have that. It's like there is literally not one riff on this that will make you not want to headbang, fucking smile, or throw out the horns. Like every riff.
Yeah.
And you're right, it's underpinned by at times very subtle and very clever drumming with a drummer who knows exactly what to do, and you get like explosive fills, like bits where he just kind of, like, you could almost feel like he was eating a sandwich while he was playing because it's so restrained.
Yeah.
But it works. No one element is pushed over. Vocally, this guy has a tone, right? It's one tone, right? He has a range. It's one range, but by God, if ever it was designed to do one thing, it's to be in this band. Its production is fucking absolutely brilliant, and you feel the sweat and you feel the smoke and you feel the whiskey and every second of this release. It is one of the most Moorish albums I've listened to in the longest time.
Yeah.
Unlike you, I didn't go on and binge all the singles. I listened to the one I'm sure, did we not play this? It was a podcast, wasn't it?
We played one in the podcast.
So that's where I heard it, was the podcast. You were raving about it, downloaded it, checked that one out, listened to it a good few times, if I'm honest. And like I said before, you get that way where you're like, you get a little bit complacent. You're like, I wonder what this album's going to be like if this is a single. No, it's all that. It's all one giant single, and that's kind of great. You could really see anything from this.
Yeah.
Like at all. There's not one song which is like, well, this is the slow track. They all have the movements and the dynamic peaks and troughs all the way through to keep you entertained. It flows in so fucking fast. It's like 44 minutes long, and you get to the end of it, you finish Hardway, and you just want to go right back to Lucifer. Like you just want to loop it. It's so easy to do it.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about like this is my new pick me up album. If you've had a bad day, TankZilla. This is my new get ready to go out for drinks with friends, TankZilla. This is my, I'm going to make a bitch and paella tonight, TankZilla. This is, do I want to masturbate one more time tonight? It's already been 4 times. TankZilla. It is. It's an instant pick me up. Like every time you switch it on, it's difficult not to just smile.
Yeah.
And I think they've captured something really special. I think, like you say, you can liken them to a lot of bands. I would argue that all those bands don't have the consistency of the riffing that this album has. Where everyone just lands. And if you are not, and I almost guarantee you are not aware of TankZilla, be prepared to meet your new favourite drinking band. Yeah,
100%.
I think it's difficult not to, and they just really make it sound so authentic. It's a fucking great album. Heavy Psych Records at the moment they've carved out a little niche for themselves, Dave, and that niche just now is delivering them goods, and in spades with all the extras that come along with it. They're fucking great. They're really, really, really good. And if you close your eyes, yes, you may be mistaken for thinking they've come out of the deep south. No. Eindhoven, where's that? That's Netherlands?
Yeah.
Is that Netherlands? Yeah, from the fucking Netherlands. The Dutch just released your new favourite southern-inspired groove metal album.
Dropped it. Fucking...
As if it was fucking nothing. There's only 2 of them, which is even more mind-blowing. It's the real deal. TankZilla by TankZilla is a welcome addition to the I didn't realise 2023 was going to spank my ass while it was fingering it.
This is the cure for depression, Duncan. Like this is what we need.
It's such a smiley fucking album,
so
and not
good,
smiley as in like it's cheesy. It's so not. It's just a band that were built. These guys were made to make this album. It's just it's taken them a few different bands to get to it.
Yeah, they need to make this in tablet form. Like just fucking tank. Giza TankZilla, boof, and that's you fucking ready to go.
Giza TankZilla. You designer drug.
What was the drug called in RoboCop 2?
Nuke.
Nuke. That's what this could be. Yeah. Just right in your neck.
It's a whole lot of us going.
TankZilla, right in your neck. That's you, ready to go.
Tom Noonan would love this band. He played Kane in RoboCop 2. He would fucking love this band.
TankZilla.
Even that wee shitty kid with the machine gun, he would love TankZilla as well. Like, TankZilla should score an action movie. It'd be the greatest action movie ever. Like the only question we need to ask TankZilla, if you're watching this, is when are you coming to Scotland and can we buy you a drink?
Yes. You need to come to Scotland, man. We need to see you live. It has to happen.
Oh man.
So, Duncan, important question for you. How many cowbells would you give this album from TankZilla?
I like, is it going to make my end year list? Maybe. Is it going to be in my top 10? Probably not. I'm going to be realistic here. But it's a 5.
I don't know.
It's a 5. Like, it's a 5. It's an easy... It's such an enjoyable album which doesn't deliver anything but good times.
Yeah.
All the way through it consistently. I see this every now and again. I'm doubling down on this. If you dislike this album, you're dead inside. like I can't.
Yeah.
If you dislike this album, you're dead inside, or a hardcore black metal fan who only listens to the 1993 fucking Mayhem album of whatever name it was. I'd like. There's not a second on this that, to me personally, feels like it could even be improved. I don't know how they followed this.
I don't know. I mean, they've been writing it for potentially 5 years, so they could have something else in the tank.
Oh, in the tank. See what it did there.
I never know.
All I'm going to ask them is it should be called TankZilla 2. And the 2 should be the 2 L's.
TankZilla 2.
Roman numeral that motherfucker. Get them larger, so it's TankZilla, but there's a 2 on the... And they can have that for free.
All right. Nice. You heard it.
Idea Factory strikes again.
Yeah. This album fucks. Like, this is a stone cold 5-star album from me. Loved it. Your neighbours are going to love it. Everyone's going to love it. Get it listened to. Get it in your neck.
It's also given me my new euphemism for masturbation, which is pluck the rooster. Plucking that rooster hard later on, I'll tell you. What?
To TankZilla. So TankZilla's self-titled debut album out on May 19th on Heavy Psych Sounds. Links below. Check them out. Hit that link. Check out this band. Let us know. Be prepared
to fall in love.
Oh, so hard.
Okay.
Yeah, in every way possible.
Stand up. Hands where I can see them.
Yes. Godzilla ain't gone shit on TankZilla. That is the review. We'll be back with another review very soon. But until then, take care. Speak to you soon.
Bye, everyone.